Well, regardless of what I said a few minutes ago, we're going to start, because it's not fair that you lot wait. And we're equal opportunity abusers here. So, we'll begin very shortly with Count Rostov Presents. It's Rostov, not Roskov or any of the other things. It's Count Emil Rostov. However, we will never ever print that on a bill, because if he ever gets that on a bill or a ticket, his head will swell so much that he won't be able to fit it in his hat. Now, for those of you who don't know, and the reason I've started now is the Memsarb is with me this weekend. Normally I do Whitby on my own because she's doing other gigs. She was at MCM Expo in October and things like that. And if you've not met the Memsarb, Lady Elsie is the blonde lady there. Wave, Mom. So as I start with the warm-up to try and get you going, you'll understand why I make jokes about blondes. She should have been here in October, she forgot, in fact. Now, I'm not saying that stereotypically, you see, you can get away with blonde jokes at Whitby because there aren't many blondes about. At least not that you can see. Sorry, Carl.
He's a genius.
Actually, he's a ginger. I hate to break it to you, mate. You're a ginger.
I'm in denial.
Okay, you're a ginger in denial. I'm not a ginger, I'm a strawberry. So, I have a problem because Lady Elsie, being blonde, is not terribly smart. And being a steampunk, the biggest problem with steampunk, you see, she doesn't drink tea. She's a coffee drinker. She says, I drink coffee because everything else, not my plate of tea. See, you have to work that one out. That's the blonde bit, you see. We live in a little village in Sherwood Forest where it's normally very quiet, but next door they bought a dog. And this dog, unlike your dog Kate, Bracken, who's a lovely, well-behaved dog, wanders around, never causes problems and should be perfectly welcome in every venue in Whitby. Is that a big enough plug?
Hey, well done.
Thank you. Well, unlike Bracken, this dog, being a new, large dog, was barking all the time. Barking, barking, barking. All night. The Memsarb was moaning to me, you've got to do something about this bloody dog. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm sitting here, I'm enjoying my sleep, I'm going back to sleep. So she gets out of bed, pulls on her dressing gown, boots, disappears out into the garden. And then she comes back in, and I can still hear the dog barking. What did you go outside for? What did you do to the dog? Says, well, I moved him into my garden. Why? Says, well, now the neighbours know what it's like. It's alright, the trouble is, for tomorrow I've actually rehearsed a set, and I'm trying desperately not to use those gags from tomorrow. So all the good gags are on tomorrow's comedy set. As we've now got some people in, and we've broken the ice, I think it may be time to introduce the stallion from Siberia, the St. Petersburg playwright, the man who's more entertaining than Rasta dropped a Bolokov. I give you the one and only Count Rostov.
Thank you very much. I'm not doing it on my own. I've been doing it on my own for many years, and I can tell you it's not much fun. Tonight, for your edification, for your entertainment, for your elation, for your... I've run out of E-words, I'm sorry. We're going to do a little play for you. And...
Wise men say...
Before Murdoch, before Sherlock Holmes, before even Hercule Poirot, there was a mind so incisive, so logical, so full of these little grey bits, that he was an ultimate detective. a man of action with superb fighting skills, a credit to the Empire, a virtuoso banjo player, and a hearty drinker of gin. Yay! His powers of deduction... We're not going to have any trouble tonight. His powers of deduction were matched by no person before or since. He never knew failure and never left the case unsolved. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to say our story is about that man's cousin, Inspector Vague, also a detective, also with a mind that we have not seen the like of before or since. A man who never learned the word failure and who left every case unsolved. A man of inaction with a total lack of any fighting skills. He drank on credit in the Empire pub till he was totally banjoed. Fortunately, his trusty assistant, Captain Oswald, possessed an uncanny ability to solve crime and kept Inspector Vague in the consulting detective business. He was an amazing man. The story of his skills were legendary. We join Inspector Vague just after the fateful death of his amazing assistant, Captain Oswald, in a bizarre elephant's foot umbrella stand incident. The inspector decided to return to his roots, Switzerland. He wasn't actually from Switzerland, but he liked their chocolate and their cuckoo clocks. Besides, he was born in Swindon, and who wants to go back there, frankly? Inspector Vague left his fashionable city hovel and accosted a young, uniformed figure of authority.
Right, my man. How do I get to Switzerland from here? Which train do I take?
We don't know.
Why on earth not?
Because I am only the postmistress, sir.
Ah, I see. Well, which way is the station?
That way.
Inspector Vague arrived at the station a few minutes later. He inquired after trains, was informed that as it was a bus station, he should really try next door at the railway station, where they really did have tracks.
Ah, my good man. You are a man, aren't you? I need to get to Switzerland. What do I need to do to catch a train to Switzerland?
Get a bloody big net?
No, you impertinent fool. What train do I take?
The Express, the Southern Railway pride and joy.
The Orient Express goes to Switzerland. The Venice Simplon Orient Express.
No, but the Leighton Orient Express, that does.
Well, issue you as one first-class ticket and a quick apology and make it snappy.
Do you need a return ticket? Are you coming back?
No.
Good, here's your ticket.
Or when does the train leave?
10 a.m.
Great.
next Tuesday.
Inspector Vague realised he had time to pack, which was fortunate as he hadn't bothered so far. The following Tuesday he caught the train and settled in his seat.
Ah, waiter, please bring me a tisani.
I'm sorry, I'm not your waiter. I'm Lady Heavenly Garden.
Ah, my apologies. I am Inspector Vague. Delighted to meet you.
That's all right, Inspector. No need to apologise. And I'm thoroughly underwhelmed to meet you.
Please, won't you join me in a tisani?
You know, I have no idea what that is, but it sounds awfully rude. I'll have two.
As they enjoyed a Tisani or three, they were joined by another man. This story is awfully progressive, you know.
Good morning. My name's Boyle. I'm a thief, a fraudster, and a con man.
Why are you telling me this?
Oh, good point. Yeah, perhaps that's why I haven't been enormously successful in my career so far.
Wait a minute, I've heard of you. You ran off with Lady Flatty's jewels. The papers have a nickname for you. Let's see. Yes, Nasty Boyle, they called you.
Inspector, I need your help.
Why?
Well, I believe I'm going to be murdered on this very train.
Dun dun dun!
Whoa, that's a bit dramatic, isn't it?
No, it's my three brothers. Look, they're over there. Dan, Dan, and Dan.
Parents with no imagination. Ah, Lady Heavenly.
Please, call me Dan.
Later that day in the saloon,
Good evening, Inspector.
Good evening, Dan.
Why, look over there. Isn't that Lady Geraldine Farthing and her daughter, Penny?
I think grown is a lot more. I believe so. Aren't they talking to Mr. and Mrs. Gunn and their son? grave.
Why, yes, and standing next to them is Mrs. Origible with her daughter Dee.
And just arriving, I can see, is Lord and Lady in and about with steam engines, and their son Dick.
Oh, and following them is Mr. and Mrs. Cutcorset and their son Lo.
There are more. Well, over there is Dr. Littlehat with his daughter, Tiny.
And here comes Lord and Lady Boomdier and their daughter Sharon.
The inspector was suddenly interrupted by the narrator on behalf of the audience, some of whom had heard of I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue and were appalled at the blatant stealing of ideas. Everybody was suddenly aware of a handsome, well-educated man with a smooth voice and a witty way with words. Okay, you can all stop looking at me now, it's fine. Back to what we are calling our story, no refunds given. Another handsome stranger entered the saloon.
Howdy.
No, it's not that kind of saloon.
Should we just kiss that line?
So I did point you together.
Oh, terribly sorry.
Who are you, handsome stranger?
Major Richard Humwell. But my friends call me Rob.
Oh, Rob, you look like my husband.
But you're not married, Lady Heavenly.
No, not yet.
The guests mingled, which in a carriage the size of a matchbox is pretty intense, I can tell you. One more character entered the bar and discreetly ordered a drink.
I say, Inspector, that woman looks a bit like... No, it can't be.
A trifle, a French poodle, a waiter.
Definitely not a waiter. I think it's Lady Flirty. You know, the woman whose jewels were taken.
Woo-hoo! Chop, 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 chop. As the train sped on, chop, 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 getting ever closer to Central Europe. Chop, 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 chop. Phew, completely chuffed. As the train sped on, it headed towards the mountains in the St. Carpal Tunnel. Suddenly, the lights went out. Bang. The lights came on.
What was that?
A tunnel. They allow the trains to go through the mountains.
No, that noise, you fool. It sounded a little bit like a gunshot.
Could it have been, I don't know, a gunshot?
Oh my, Mr. Boyle's dead. He's been...
Stabbed.
No, he's been...
Strangled.
No, he's been...
Hit in the head by a small dart, tipped with poisonous cure. Fired from a blowpipe of the kind that only rare Amazonian tribes of foot would use.
No, he's been shot in the chest, you half-witted idiot. Look at that massive bloody wound.
No, I don't want a bloody wound.
Later that day, Inspector Vague assembled all the potential suspects in the saloon. Lady Heavenly's brothers made a dramatic entrance. Dan.
I have brought you all here as potential suspects in the murder of the notorious thief, Mr. Fernuncle Boyle, also known as Nasty Boyle, a.k.a. Parboyle, a.k.a. In the Bag.
Sorry, why are we here?
You're all suspects in the murder of, you know, the dead man.
Surely, Inspector, you can't suspect us.
Yes, I can. And don't call me Inspector.
But I thought you were an inspector.
Yes, but I'm off duty for a few weeks. I found duty disagreed with me. I am pleased to announce that I know who killed him.
Who?
The dead man.
The dead man killed Mr. Boyle?
No, the dead man is Mr. Boyle.
So it was suicide.
No, somebody in this carriage is responsible for the death of Mr. Boyle.
Mr. Boyle is dead?
Yes! And somebody killed him.
Who?
Mr. Boyle!
No, I mean, who killed him?
Somebody in this carriage.
But there's only one body in this carriage and he's dead.
No, someone in this carriage killed him.
I thought you said you knew who it was.
I'm getting to that. that.
Well, hurry up, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
Well, he's certainly trying, all right.
Our doubtful policeman scanned the faces of the people in the carriage, which was decidedly odd as scanners had yet to be invented. Suddenly, the lights went out, and the train went through another, longer tunnel. And after what seemed like an eternity of time, it emerged the other end. In the dark, noisy carriage, whilst the train was hurtling through the pitch black, nobody got killed. Blimey, that bit was scary. Tickets, please. I don't need a ticket, I'm the narrator. Oh, sorry. Tickets, please.
Do you mind? I'm Inspector Fitzgerald here. That's why I read that. Do you mind? I'm trying to conduct an investigation.
Yeah. But I'm the conductor.
Stand on the roof then. It looks like rain.
Rod the conductor left. Our indistinct hero resumed his denouement.
Right. Someone in this room is a murderer. You didn't like Mr. Boyle.
Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm the narrator, I sit outside the action.
But you didn't like Mr. Boyle.
No, he was a lightweight character with a silly name. Now get on with it.
I think you were nervous.
Inspector Vague's trousers fell down round his ankles, exposing his pink lacy undergarments.
Okay, no need to be nasty about it.
Inspector Vague pulled up his trousers and continued.
Now, Lady Farthing, I hear you have very little money. Killing Mr. Boyle for the stolen jewels would solve all your problems, wouldn't it? Dr. Littlehat, you hated the way Boyle bested you in sports at school. Isn't it true that you thought Boyle was ahead of himself? And you own a well-oiled revolver. Mrs. Ridgewell, you were offended by Boyle's comment that you were just an old windbag and full of hot air. Keep up with the jokes, people, they come fast. Murdering Boyle for revenge wouldn't lift your spirits, I'm sure. Mr. Low-Cut Corset, I believe Boyle was about to expose you. He was blackmailing you. You were too tight to pay him. Shooting him would end the threat and tie up all the loose ends. Mr. Gunn! Well, with a name like that, you were almost bound to shoot him. But none of you killed him. For I know that Lady Farthing was negotiating with Mr. Cut Corset to sell her famous clothes. Yes, peddling her wares. Mrs. Ridgeable was gassing with her daughter. Dr. Littlehat and his daughter were busy having a head-to-head. And besides, according to Mrs. Littlehat, your weapon fires blanks. Although I'm not sure she was actually referring to your revolver. And, in a twist of irony that the scriptwriter has added to show he is indeed very clever, Mr. Gunn doesn't actually own a gun. So that leaves just two of you. Now, Lady Flirty, stop fluttering your eyelashes at me. That sort of thing just won't work on me. I am a professional. You could have killed Mr. Boyle to regain your jewels and get revenge on the blackguard for stealing from you. When he was shot in the dark next to Mr. Boyle, I caught a brief glimpse of those nicely turned ankles you are now revealing to me. Oh, and I happen to know you have a small derringer concealed in those frilly pink silks. Yes, thank you. Oh, don't flap the script around. I need to read it. It's the first time I've seen it, you know. Pretty pink silk bloomers. that you now are flashing me. I told you, that won't work on me. I am a hard man, Lady Flirty.
Get on with it.
Ah, yes. Right, Lady Flirty. It would have been revenge, sorry. If the jewels were actually stolen. But you like this. This is good, isn't it? Where were we? But your family were broke. There's a lot of words. But your family, I chose a really hoarse accent. And I got a lot of reading. But your family were broke. And you made it look like a robbery and then claimed on the insurance. Furthermore, your derringer is only for show. It doesn't fire like you. It's all front and no parlour.
But that leaves me, Inspector. I had never met Mr. Boyle before today and had no reason to kill him. I am innocent!
Not quite innocent, Lady Heavenly. I know you didn't kill him because the murderer was right-handed, and your right hand was down my trousers at the time. Now I'm too far away from the script. When the shot that's why it's radio. You don't have to move or anything. When the shot rang out.
Oh, yes.
So who did kill him then?
Yes, next you'll be saying it's all of us. Ha ha ha.
The person who killed Mr. Boyle?
Yes.
The murderer of the dead man?
Yes.
Was.
Yes.
Me.
What?
I love the shock in the audience as well. It was a shock to me as well.
I just found out.
But why?
It was the only way I could make certain I solved the case. I've been a detective now for 20 years, and not a single case has come my way that I have been able to solve. That's over 500 cases. I was beginning to have some reservations about my ability as a detective. Frankly, I was desperate.
I've heard that.
And so the inspector finally solved the case. Finally got his man himself. Thank you all for listening. This has been Count Roskov presents Murmur on the Late Orange Express with the second most famous brigadier in the world, Brigadier of the Black Bat Squadron, also known as Matt Broom, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Broom. And we have a man who you will also be seeing tomorrow night, unless he gets arrested first, doing a stand-up show, also adventuring as Jack Union, but better known as Kit Cox, ladies and gentlemen, Kit Cox.
My mom's in.
And on the end, the rather wonderful, the rather beautiful, the very pretty, oh no, that's what I wrote for Kit, sorry. The wonderful Emily Ladybird, who also adventures like the rest of us on Twitter, if you follow Twitter. Gemma Hewitt, ladies and gentlemen. And my humble self, Count Roskov. Thank you very much. Good night.